What is the best example of a man not understanding a woman's body you have ever heard? Met a guy asking me seriously why women did not donate their periods blood for hospitals and people in need. A dude in high school asked me if tampons were spring-loaded. Obviously I explained how they work, but the mental imagine of a spring-loaded tampon is quite something. Just a lot of breastfeeding nonsense. I was told if I keep breastfeeding my daughter I'll turn her and myself into a lesbian. I was also told the only reason I'm still nursing her is because I was getting turned on. How do they think we survived as a species before formula? My girlfriend told me about a guy who was confused about a woman got her period although it was not full moon. Ah yes. All women are werewolves. No, she can't get pregnant when she stands up right after, it has to stay inside of her. A friend of mine after getting his girl pregnant at the age of 18. One of my sister's earlier boyfriends that I remember, who was like 24 to 26 at the time, was adamant she wouldn't get pregnant if she was on top. This man had a degree and everything. You can only get pregnant if you orgasm. There would be far fewer babies born if that was the case. Pretty sure humans would be extinct. Have had multiple dudes ask me if I've ever orgasmed from putting a tampon in. SMH, my friend was hooking up with my wife's best friend. My friend has never been the smartest dude out there but I love him all the same. They got done ducking one night, she got up to go to the bathroom, and there were a bunch of little white balls on the bed. They were lint/fuzz from the blanket. He asked her if those were her eggs. He was 29 at the time. My friend's dad got angry at his daughters because they used multiple pads or tampons per day. He said they didn't need to use that many. They had to explain that they need to change it every 2 to 3 hours or so and he was baffled. This was a grown-ass man with a wife and 3 daughters. I was talking with a guy online about prostate orgasms. He was shocked when I told him women don't have prostates. On another occasion, I was talking with another man who thought that women urinated from the same hole they have their periods. I'm not shaming, but seriously this is why we need sex education, and not just 1 or 2 classes. I once had a teacher who after being asked by a girl if she could go to the bathroom because she was on her period why she can't just hold it in until the break. There was a high school teacher who wrote a student up because she cited period as the reason she needed to use the bathroom. See, she had used the same reason the previous day, and this dude thought it only lasted 1 day so she must have been lying the second day. That tampons act as a cork. In other words, women sit on the toilet, uncork themselves, remove the tampon, the blood flows out, then they are cork. This is a very educated guy that knows a ton about female anatomy but somehow didn't understand that tampons absorb the blood. I'll own up to it, I'm a 31 years old male and my 2 best friends each just recently had a kid. Being a gay man means childbirth doesn't really cross my mind that often. I know that's not an excuse for the upcoming stupidity, but just let me have this one for my own ego's sake. I thought after a kid was born, the woman just kind of slurped up the umbilical cord after the doctor cut it. Almost like a tape measure wildly being sucked back in and flailing around. I think it's just something that my younger gay brain just assumed and I never thought about how dumb it was until I verbalized it to my friend. That's a visual I will cherish forever. Well done. My sister told me that her BF and her were watching something on television and there was a woman with hairy armpits. And her BF commented about how gross it was and that women should always shave. He said men can't shave their armpits because they'll get itchy and bumpy. My sister looked at him and was like, dude, you think that doesn't happen to women? Like we have ducking magical armpits. Lol. Sigh, what us ladies do for beauty. Men have no idea. The entire idea of being loose or like throwing a hot dog down a hallway. That's not how it works in the slightest. That a woman can hold in a baby. An older uncle not related, expressed annoyance that my sister-in-law went into labor on next day. He legit said she could have just held until the next day. My grandma dressed him so epically. I wish I had a phone with camera to record it. I saw a meme the other day that said a dude thought all women got their period on the 15th every month and was arguing with his girlfriend. What a dummy, obviously everyone knows it's the 25th. I went online and changed it to the 2nd, that way it comes right after my paycheck gets through at the bank. Guys who think women don't shit. My senior year of high school I dated a guy who was a freshman in college. He was so confused one day when I made a comment about my period/bleeding. Turns out that until that day, he was under the impression that your period is just a week out of the month where women get super crabby and bitchy. No, this was a real conversation I had with a 24-year-old male from America on Omegle. I don't remember how we got on the topic but we were basically talking about pregnancy and how women become pregnant. I mentioned that women have eggs and the guy responded by telling me that women don't have eggs. They're not like chickens, real. I was so shocked and asked him if he'd ever taken sexual health classes and he told me that of course he had, and that women don't have eggs. They have ovaries. And he's not wrong, But he's also very wrong. I was never able to convince him that women have eggs. I suggested he speak to a female he knew about it. He absolutely refused to believe that women could possibly have eggs. Continued to compare them to other animals that lay eggs. He didn't seem to understand the difference. To this day it still blows my mind. If you enjoyed this content, then please like and subscribe.